Hello and welcome to my channel where I mostly share my love of fragrance and enjoying my collection. In today's video, I'm going to review the new Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid and compare it to the rest of my collection. Thank you so much for stopping by and let's get started. So Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid is the latest in the Flowerbomb line and it was released in late 2021. I picked it up a few months ago and have been testing it out since then. And this has top notes of peach and vine, a mid note of orchid, and base note of vanilla bean. And this comes in the standard Flowerbomb bottle, only with a really pretty bright ruby colored glass. And this really opens with a strong floral note to me, as well as some greenness from that vine note. I'm actually not getting a whole lot of peach in the opening, but as I let it dry down, I start to get a little bit more fruitiness. But to me, it doesn't smell like a strong peach note, just kind of a generic fruitiness. And then the longer I'm smelling it, the more the vanilla note really starts to come out. I think as it gets dried down, it really becomes more sweet, and to me overwhelmingly smells like a vanilla orchid scent, but it still definitely has a little bit of greenness as well as a little powderiness. And I think that this is different than a lot of the other Flowerbomb scents because it doesn't have a really heavy patchouli note, and it also doesn't have, a lot of rose or a lot of citrus like many of the other Flowerbomb scents that I have. I think that this is a really nice different take on Flowerbomb. I really do enjoy, sweet vanilla floral scents, and I really think that this is going to be one of the more preferred Flowerbomb scents in my collection. So now I'll compare it to some of the other Flowerbomb scents in my collection, and I actually don't have the original Flowerbomb in a full-size bottle. I have a little sample of it, and I think that it's a nice fragrance, but it's always felt a bit too heavy and cloying for me, so I've never picked up a full size. I definitely think it's a nice fragrance. It's very floral and very patchouli heavy, and it's just a little too strong for me. So one of the other permanent fragrances in the Flowerbomb line is Flowerbomb Nectar, which was released in 2018. And this one has top notes of gunpowder, cassis, and bergamot, mid notes of osmanthus, orange blossom, and jasmine sambac, and base notes of vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, and patchouli. So this bottle differs a little bit from the classic Flowerbomb shape. It's a wider, shorter bottle, and if you purchase it from the Viktor and Rolf website like I did, they actually let you customize the bottle a little bit. I was able to engrave my name on the back, as well as add this like tulle tutu accent, which I think is really cute. But this is what the bottle looks like without the little tutu, but I do think it's a nice accent to the bottle. And Flowerbomb Nectar opens with kind of a bright burst of citrus and floral notes, and it also definitely has that gunpowder note in the opening. And, I don't really know what gunpowder is supposed to smell like, but to me, it's very interesting. It gives it kind of a sharp, spicy, like licorice-like note, and that gunpowder note is actually not unpleasant at all. And then the scent really starts to transform into a very sweet floral scent. To me, it reminds me of kind of like delicious, sticky cotton candy. And I think overall, the name is very appropriate. I do think of like a syrupy sweet nectar when I smell this scent. And overall, this is definitely my favorite in the Flowerbomb line. I think, I just love that, cotton candy sweetness mixed with the nice soft florals. And I think it's a really beautiful scent and it's very long lasting. So next up I have one of the limited edition scents, and this is Flowerbomb Vie En Rose, and this is the 2018 version. They have had a few different versions of Vie En Rose throughout the years. And this one has top notes of grapefruit, tea, and pink pepper, mid notes of rose, orchid, and jasmine sambac, and base notes of amber, cashmerean, and patchouli. And this version of Flowerbomb has a nice clear bottle with a pretty pink lattice design on it. And to me, this is a lighter, fresher version of Flowerbomb. The opening has a very strong grapefruit note, along with some spiciness from the pink pepper. And I could definitely smell the rose right away, but there is kind of a background of a mix of florals behind it. And as the scent dries down, a warmth starts to come out from the amber and cashmerean, but you definitely have to like rose, as this is definitely a rose-heavy scent. It is the standout note, but it is mixed with kind of a bright, fresh citrus in the background, as well as a slight sweetness from the other florals. But this is definitely not a sweet scent. It is a floral version of Flowerbomb. Next up, I have Flowerbomb Midnight, and this still seems to be part of the permanent collection right now, and this was released in 2019. And this has top notes of blackcurrant and pomegranate, mid notes of night blooming jasmine and peony, and base notes of white musk and vanilla. And this bottle is also a little bit different than the classic Flowerbomb. It has a very tall bottle and it's black opaque glass, and it's similar to Flowerbomb Dew, but I don't have that one. And I believe this was supposed to be more of a dark evening version of Flowerbomb. To me, overwhelmingly, this smells like blackcurrant in the opening. Then some of the florals really start to come in, kind of mixing with those sweet berry notes. And as it starts to dry down, I'm getting a very heavy muskiness, and I'm actually not getting a lot of vanilla, but there is definitely something kind of sweetening up the scent in the background. And to me, this is just a really dark, fruity, floral version of Flowerbomb. I think they could have gone a little, heavier to make it have more of a dark quality. But overall, I think it's a nice scent, kind of middle of the pack for me. The next one I have is another limited edition version, and this is Flowerbomb Bomblicious, and it came out in 2019. And this one has top notes of grapefruit, mandarin orange, and bergamot, mid notes of rose, blackcurrant, and jasmine, and base notes of cashmere wood, musk, and patchouli. And this version has a bit of a different presentation. It has the standard bottle, but there's a grosgrain ribbon wrapped around it with the Viktor and Rolf logo. So I'll just mention at the start here that this is my least favorite version of Flowerbomb that I've tried. It is very much a heavy citrus and floral scent. I think, the citrus is definitely present in the opening, and then the rose note starts to come in. And to me, the rose is kind of a fresh green kind of rose versus more like a sweetened jammy rose. And it's just not my preferred kind of floral scent. I think that kind of overwhelms the entire fragrance with that, kind of green note. So to me, it's definitely not my favorite. I think if you like really strong, more green, fresh rose scents, then you might enjoy this. But I don't think the citrus does enough to really give it something special. And there's really no sweetness here at all. And the last scent I have is Flowerbomb in the Sky, which was released in 2020. And this has top notes of grapefruit, mandarin orange, and bergamot, mid notes of rose, lily of the valley, and currant buds, and base notes of jasmine sambac and patchouli. And I think that this version has one of the prettiest bottles. It's got a beautiful iridescent kind of gridded pattern to the glass. And I think this one is just really beautiful to look at. And this to me is another one that's trying to be a lighter, fresher version of Flowerbomb. It opens with really strong, heavy citrus notes, and then more of the florals start to really come in and take over the scent. The rose is definitely not as strong in this one. I smell more of a kind of a generic floral mixed with some jasmine. And the currant buds, I think, are actually very noticeable here. So you do kind of have to like that type of note. And there's also definitely some patchouli, which is giving it kind of an herbal greenness to it. But overwhelmingly, this smells more like a citrus scent to me with a nice floral mix. It's definitely not probably one of my favorites, but I think, it's definitely better than a couple of the other versions like Bomblicious. So that's it for my review. I think that Ruby Orchid is a really nice addition to the Flowerbomb line, but Nectar still definitely remains my favorite Flowerbomb scent to date. And let me know which one is your favorite Flowerbomb. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you'll subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.